and welcome. Today's video is going to be about this piece of ash which is 7 inches by 5 inches in diameter, and I'm going to be turning a goblet, and it's not going to be a thin stem goblet. It's going to have a concave stem to get the full effect of the scorching, and as the title implies, I shall be applying some fire to it, and we'll just see how it looks. Well, without further ado, let's get turning this scorched ash goblet. Okay, so I've got the piece of wood between cinders. I'm wearing a fingerless glove just while the bark area is flying off, and I'm using the Simon Hope 1 1/4 inch spindle roughing gouge. And turning the speed up to just on 1000 RPM, and let's just rough it down. Now, a slight change of plan, looking at these knots here, I don't really want those in the cup of the goblet, so I'm going to form another tenon here. So this will be the base, and I'll spin it around in the chuck. So the inside of the cup is now hollowed. I've got an undercut there to follow the profile of the bowl of the goblet. So now I'm going to sand and finish the inside and the rim, and then we'll work on the outside. So that's the inside of the goblet bowl finished. I sanded to 240, sanding sealer, pre-thin sanding sealer from Hampshire Sheen, True Grit, and then Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. So the inside is finished now. Now we can concentrate on the outside shape, sanding and burning. So I've got to the point now, I made the goblet shorter than I'd originally planned because I didn't like the proportions. That's how I like it, it's all personal taste. And what I've done is just finessed here to make sure that you've got a nice concave curve here, some nice figure on there which is going to hopefully burn nicely. And the other thing that I always like to do is to make sure that the base diameter is the same or slightly less, which is really what I prefer, than the widest point of the goblet bowl, which is what I've done as well now. So what I have to do now is to sand up, and we'll sand him up and then we'll apply some flame and scorch it and see how it turns out. So I've sanded the outside now to 320, and now I'm going to apply flame. I'm just going to use a butane propane torch, and I'm going to be turning the lathe at about 50 RPM just to get started, because some parts will take more than others, so it's a very gradual process. There's a bit of soft wood here which I presume is a bug hole. That might actually take quite dark, we'll have to see. But there's no rush, and do it very lightly, do it very steadily, and then you can build up, and it should actually bring out this beautiful grain here. It starts to take. In actual fact, I'm going to turn him off and do it by hand. So I've started the first stage of it now. Now I'm going to sand back because some parts take it more than others, as you can see. Now a little crack has formed here where that soft wood was there. It's formed up here. I don't think it's going to cause a problem, but I'm going to carry on. I'm not going to fill it at this stage because the whole idea of this is the process and the way it looks. So I'll carry on sanding now and doing a bit more burning, and I'll come back when it's finally finished. But a word of note, if you have a fault in there, this is proof that it's not the ideal type of wood with that sort of a soft wood there to do this burning on. So I've sanded back to 320. I'm quite pleased with how it's looking. I'm going to apply sanding sealer now and let that should pop now, as you can see, and when that does actually dry off, I shall finish the surface then with True Grit, the usual process, and then Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. But I think you can see it does give, I mean this is ash after all said and done, and it certainly gives a nice effect. And in actual fact that crack there is not too bad. And it will be filled to a certain extent with a True Grit. And what I might actually do is put 2 applications of the sanding sealer on. So I'll come back to you when I'm buffing up the Hampshire Sheen. Okay, so we'll just buff up the Hampshire Sheen. Nice even pressure. And there you go, a bit different. So I'll just part him off then and we'll be finished. So that's the goblet finished. Quite pleased how it turned out. As you can see, certain parts where the grain is close together, you get a bit of clumping of the burning if you like, but you spend time, you can sand that away. And as I said, make sure that you haven't got a fault in the wood there, because you could cause a crack. But that crack actually, now the wood has cooled down, has gone to be a very fine hairline crack and isn't going to cause a problem. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Cheers now.